From the far reaches the world, where we wish we'd left them, we bring you the FNL news team. Jessica Savage and Robbie Domdom.
Good evening and welcome to FNL Report. Our top story tonight, at approximately 3:15 this afternoon at the corner of Holly and Amity, a dog exploded. Policemen at the scene said that 3 pedestrians were overcome with fur. Some 138 fleas lost their lives in the blast. Some 300 others were left homeless and wounded. However, Morrison Hall was nearby. Homes will be provided. Consequently, President Reagan will be sending more troops to Grenada. In a related story,
the Ford Motor Company today released support of U.S. involvement in the Caribbean. They will be changing the name of their Ford Grenada to Ford Barbados. Henry Ford could not be reached for comment. However, we understand Ricardo Montalban was so upset he made a mess of his rich Corinthian leather sofa.
France was kidnapped today, and the UN is in an uproar. The parents of France have released a plea for the safe return of France, and I quote, "Please return France safely, please." The kidnappers are demanding 1 million francs for France's release and have threatened to kill France if any attempt is made to rescue him before the ransom is paid. A close friend of France, Czechoslovakia, reported today, "France and I were good friends in college, and if anything happens to France, it will be a very big personal loss. I don't think I can live without France."
Also this week, Corrie ten Boom was seen visiting the hiding place with a youth. The 98-year-old champion of the Jewish cause was unavailable for comment. I wonder what they were hiding.
Also this week, France, Germany, England, and Russia.
Ed Castledine, director of housing at NNC, reported to police that sometime while sleeping last Thursday night, a hair burglar broke in and stole all his hair. Donations to buy Ed some new hair can be sent to Box 2184, NNC.
Well, it's been almost 6 weeks since the tragic downing of the Korean airline Flight 007 headed for Seoul. The Soviets this week finally issued what, in their eyes, is a factual account of the tragedy. Here's what they had to say.
It seems Viktor Bolshevik, a farmer in southeast Russia, was shoeing horses when his hammer slipped and hit his foot. He was so enraged that he threw the hammer as far as he could. Just then, a very large airplane flew over and was sucked into the turbine engine, causing the engine to bind up. The heat of the bound engine caused a chain reaction, an explosion in the other 3 engines. Victor then hopped into his mid-jet fighter and flew for help. By the time he had returned, the disabled 747 had been repaired and was headed for Seoul. Feeling he should make sure that the airplane made it safely to Seoul, he followed the craft for a short distance. While trying to make radio contact with the pilot to assure no hard feelings, he spilled his vodka on the weapon control panel, thus shorting out his weapons control panel and deploying his 4 heat-seeking missiles. It was a mistake that could have happened to anyone. And now, Rosanna Dana.
Banana.
Hi, this is Anna Banana Diana. I'm going to tell you an editorial about couples here at NNC. It used to be when I was here as a freshman, people would go and make out at Lake Alo, but not no more. Now you can spend a basic day at NNC and see them any place, anywhere, and in any fashion doing it. Like the other day, I was sitting in Saugat, I was eating my oatmeal, the little brown stuff that sticks to the top of the roof of your mouth. And after I was done, I decided to go walk into the student center and sit on those comfortable little couches. And I was looking at the little bitty corner of my eye, and what do I see? But what I think is one person, but it's not one person, it's a 2-person, and they're stuck together with super glue, Next, I'm in a chapel, glorified study hall, and there I am, minding my own business, studying my basic learning skills. And there's these 2 people in front of me. I don't know, they're studying anatomy, French, or something. It's like the little story when my daddy tucked me into bed. He would tell me this one about a 2-headed monster with 4 arms. Well, these people in front of me, they had They look like this monster. They have 2 heads, 4 arms, and 1 body. It was so gross. I was so embarrassed I thought I was gonna die. Next, I go back to my dormitory. You know, I consider it like my home. And I'm walking to the lobby, my living room, and there are these 2 people. They're acting like hoovers, you know, like the vacuum cleaner your mama uses to clean the floor. So, like, I think I'm gonna retire for the evening and be a studious little student like my mama told me when she packed my little suitcase and she kissed me on my little cheek. And she said, "Little Anna Banana Diana, you be a good little girl and study real hard and make your mama and your daddy very, very proud of you." So here I am studying real hard. And all of a sudden there's this obnoxious honking of a horn outside. And so I wonder what this is. And somebody's mama didn't tell their little girl to be a real studious little student. I'm looking out my window, and there's these 2 people outside in this car. And they're sucking a face outside my dormitory. You know, some of these couples, they must be music majors or something. I mean, you know, the rhythm, honk, 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 honk. It's like the little prayer I say every night before I go to bed. I say, "Dear Heavenly Father, way up there in the sky, please help me go honk some horns this weekend. Amen."
Thank you, Roseanne. Many of you are wanting to know what President Pearsall is doing now that he's resigned his position at NNC. The picture says it all. He's dressing up like old women and playing checkers.
ASNNC's Budget Directory Committee, the Ways and Means Committee, while cutting the budget back so far as to force CMA to buy, yes, their own punch and cookies, saw fit to replace the NNC presidential Learjet. Seen here with a new form of transportation is President Wetmore. Yes, ASNNC bought the Space Shuttle Columbia for Dr. Wetmore. Here Wetmore is shown giving Jerry Hull a joyride in the $750 million ship.